Hey everybody, JavaScript Joe here. Just wanted to give you a quick demo on one of my favorite productivity tools as of lately. So this is called Notion. Maybe you've heard of it. You can visit their website at notion.so. But basically, it's a combination of Trello, Asana, Google Calendar, Google Sheets, Workflowy, everything you can think of. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how I'm using it. So everything is basically a page. So here I have a board page, which is very similar to the swim lanes used in Trello. I think Asana also has it. But basically I use this layout for my weekly to-dos. So I've basically got it set up. I have a no day, which is kind of like a backlog. And then I've organized it by days. So I've got Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Sunday. And so today, one of my tasks is creating this live stream. And here are a few things that I'm going to be talking about. I want to give you a quick overview. I want to show you the layout, how everything is organized. I want to talk about blocks, tables, calendars, sharing, and then the free versus the paid plan. So first thing we're going to do is take a look at the layout. So you've got these left categories, and so I've organized it kind of similar to one of my friends who uses OmniFocus. So first I've got my inbox. These are things that have yet to be organized. So I have the mobile app, and let's say I'm thinking of something. For example, I want to create Anki cards. I think it's probably going to take 30 minutes. So I've just thrown it in here. I just finished a book called High Performance Habits. These are the 6 habits of high performers, and I wanted to remember those. So these are things that I have yet to organize. And then I have a tasks, which is where we were just at previously. These are things that I'm working on. So this is the page that I use the most. You can also set it up with a calendar view. I don't use it as much right now, but I might start as I'm planning bigger projects or have tasks that span over a few weeks. So what you can do is you can add a date to each and then assign it. It's really great because you can also filter things. So I use this for personal and work. And for example, I just have a label called DAS, which is for my work. And so then when I'm at work, I just filter it when it has DAS. So super simple, super easy. Then let's take a look at projects. So these are projects that I'm currently working on. For example, I'm working through an MIT course on edX. It's called Introduction to Computer Science and Programming using Python. And so you'll see I have, if we take a look, so each of these, you'll notice as I hover over, you see the plus and the move or drag icon. And so all of these are blocks, right? So this is what's called a to-do block. This is a header block, and you can change these. So, if you click the move icon, turn into, here are just a few of the options for text. It supports code, quotes, very similar to Markdown. So this is pretty cool. This is another one that I use very often, hence why I have it at a higher level. And I'm also working on a project on Free Code Camp, which is building a survey form. So it's very clean, very good for writing. You can collapse the sidebar like so. Kind of creates a Zen mode, distraction-free writing. So then let's take a look at personal and work. So this is the section that kind of comes from Workflowy. If you're not familiar with Workflowy, it's basically like a bullet point list on steroids. It's searchable, and so I migrated all of my content over and I've organized them like so. I've got my goals for the year, budget, and so let me just show you real quick. So the other thing you can do is you can have spreadsheets. I mentioned that it replaces Google Spreadsheets. So here I've got my monthly expenses. You can add columns, you can add tags, you can filter, you can sort. I mean, you can do everything that you could basically do in a Google Spreadsheet, which is really handy. And then, for example, you can have more than one layer. So one of my friends uses Evernote a lot, and so he told me the one thing he doesn't like about Evernote is you can only nest one layer deep. So the cool thing about Notion is as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a limit as far as you can nest things. So I've got personal and then coding. And then, for example, let's go into YouTube. And then I've got video outlines, right? So, that's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers deep. So I believe I could go a lot farther, especially because you can drag this out as far as you need. So that's personal, and then I've got work, which is very similar. Companies that I do work for, some freelance stuff, other organizations. And then you've got, similar to Workflow, where you can toggle lists and expand or collapse them. So this is just a toggle list. And if I wanted to change that into a bullet list, I could totally do that. You could have a toggle list with a bullet list inside. So there's really no limitation. So here's an example of a toggle list with a bulleted list inside. There's really no limitation to what you can do with Notion, which is pretty amazing. The other cool thing is you can share these. So let's say I wanted to share this page. Let's say it was related to a project for work. I can click share. I can enable public access. If I turn that on, it'll give me a link. I can copy the page link and then send that to a friend like so. So that's very handy as well. Let's take a look at a few of the other things. So I gave you a quick overview, showed you the layout, talked about blocks. Real quick, I'm just going to show you what I mean for blocks. So see here, you'll see it says type / for commands. So if you do that, here are all the different blocks: text, page, to-do list, all of these. I mean, it goes anything you can think of. So all these different layouts. You can do images, you could do a web bookmark, which I haven't taken advantage of those, but it's kind of like when you share a link on a social media platform like Facebook or Twitter. It's kind of got a visual card that you can see, which is really cool. You can do code snippets, and it's really cool because they support syntax for different languages. So here, for example, defaults to JavaScript, but you have all of these that you could write code in as well, which is really handy. So I'm just going to delete that. Yeah, so you can scroll, code pens, Typeforms, Loom, Figma, all of the design platforms you can think of, InVision, Framer, Gist from GitHub, Twitter. You can embed a lot of things, and I've only been using Notion for about a month now, so I haven't had the chance to explore all of these, but definitely worth checking out. So blocks, I showed you some tables and calendars, sharing, and the last thing I'll talk about real quick is the free versus the paid plan. So it's free to get started. If we take a look, let's see, plans. So you can have as many members as you want, so you can try it out. You have 1,000 block storage. So since I migrated from Workflow, I filled that up pretty quickly. I think I hit 1,000 maybe after 3 weeks of using it, and I also write a lot and take notes. And then you have a 5 megabyte file upload. But then the first plan, which is, in my opinion, very affordable, it's $4 per month. I paid for a year, so it was $48, and I have unlimited storage, no file upload limit, and it's pretty awesome. And the team is working really hard. They listen to people, so I've chatted with a few team members here, and they've always replied. And then if you're curious what they're working on, you can see it here. And it's cool because they use Notion, which I just think is super exciting. So an Android app, I'm using the Android app. It feels just like the desktop app on Mac. It's awesome. There's dark mode, and here are a few things that they're working on as well. So yeah, that's Notion. Definitely go give it a try. I'll leave a link in the description, and thanks for watching.